What's up?
There we go. Right, I think we're live.
We are live.
We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hangout.
Hello, everyone.
If you're new here, I know I say this every time, but if you're new here, my name is Nick.
We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Hangout.
Oh, we'll have to mute that.
If you're new here, I know I say this every time, but if you're new here, my name is Nick.
Coming from your end, guys.
Hello, everyone. Welcome
Is that
to
me?
the Hangout.
Yeah.
Mute that. If you're new here, I know I say this every time, but if
You have a window playing the video somewhere. Let me just check it with me.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Mute that. If you're new here,
Yeah.
window
No.
playing the video somewhere.
Let me just check it with me.
Is that me?
Yeah. Mute that.
What do I need to do?
If you're new here,
You've got the video playing somewhere.
the video somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Hang on. What do I need
Yeah,
to
for
do?
once it's not me.
The video playing somewhere.
Where is it? Oh. Sorry.
The amount of times you've done that.
I know, that's brilliant.
I'm so sick.
Oh,
So I was just saying, welcome if you're new here. We are Nick and Andrea. On these Thursday shows, we like to, if we can, get somebody on and hang out with them and find out a bit about them. And do you want to say who we've got with us this week?
yeah, well, this week we've got Carboot Chris and Boot. No, what do we call? That wasn't very good, was it? What do we call you, Annabelle?
Bargain Bell.
Bargain Bell.
Bargain belt. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah, we're happy to say we've got Chris and Annabell with us, who we met. Do you want to explain where we actually met the other week?
Yeah, sure. We were at this eBay meeting that we got invited to. It was an interesting day, wasn't it? And obviously we got to meet up for the first time, which was great.
Yeah, that was a fun day, actually. Oh, but you've probably
It was
seen
a
the
good day.
videos because I know you guys put a video out and we put a very similar video out, surprisingly. So we are live. If you've managed to catch this live, there's a live side chat. As always, we're going to quickly say a few hellos before we start chatting. Who was first in? Pete was
Peter
first in.
Yeah. Hi, Peter.
Just Beat Lucy and Adrian. Gary is in. Hi, Gary.
Pommy Pickers.
Hi, Rod from Down Under. He says, "Good day, guys. A very early morning from me. Glad you could make it, Rod. Hope you're well."
And Art Journey UK, Ray Deacon, and Andrew. Hi, guys.
Yep, I will scroll to the end of the chat.
Too long.
Not going to be able to say hi to everyone. We will try and keep an eye on the chat as we do normally. So if you've got a question for Chris and Annabelle, please, if you put question in capitals, it might mean we'll be able to notice it and say it, but I'm not guaranteeing anything. So
Yeah, so I'm sorry about that. I had a brain freeze for a minute.
It's fine.
Well, I'm baffled. I don't even know how you keep up with that chat. That's just like
we don't. quite simply. So how are you both?
Good.
You guys good?
Brilliant. Oh, good.
yeah.
So for those of you that maybe don't follow Chris and Annabelle, I'm doing it now.
Just call me Belle. It's much easier.
Bell, Chris and Bell. You guys have a YouTube channel where you chart your adventures on eBay basically and reselling. So do you want to start there and tell us a bit about the channel, and we'll get into what you do after that?
It officially didn't start as your reselling channel, did it?
No.
Hence the fact it's called Cookie and the Haydens. It was originally to document our puppy. Well, she's not a puppy, she's 3 years old now. When we first got our Cocker Spaniel, and to do videos growing up of her and stuff. And Chris cheekily jumped on the back of it with his Carboot Chris videos. So technically, he's got a lot of his fame through the dog.
We do like to put other stuff on there as well, like travel videos and just anything unusual that we find.
Yeah, because we do travel a lot, don't we?
So the reselling thing, is that fairly new in your lives, or is it just making the videos about it that's new?
Well, I've been reselling on and off, like on a personal basis, since about the year 2000. So I've had an eBay account since then, nearly 20 years. And then we started trying some new sort of gift sets and stuff that involved like figures and movies that go with the figure.
That's where movie,
and that's where like movie fusion,
which
sort
is
of
what
come
our
from.
eBay page is called. So that's where the movie fusion came from.
And we just really started on Facebook Marketplace initially, but you know what Facebook Marketplace is like. It's an absolute nightmare half the time.
I think the year we started, the selling sites were relatively new, so everybody was checking them, but there wasn't hundreds and hundreds like there is now. So the first Christmas we did brilliantly. We were literally driving all over the place, dropping these packs off. People were buying them as like Christmas Eve pack gifts for the kids and stuff. And that year I was still delivering them on Christmas Eve, wasn't I? But then it just seemed to
died off a bit.
Yeah, died off. The more sites that popped up and the more selling sites that popped up, we found that as soon as we posted our packs, within minutes you were 10, 15 posts down and they were just getting lost. So that's when we rethought how we were going to start selling stuff, didn't we?
So we decided to look at eBay, and we started off with the packs on eBay, but it didn't work that well. So then we just started selling all the stuff individually, and then we just started sourcing stuff at Carboots and charity shops and stuff, and branching out, and now we look for almost anything.
Yeah, but that's where our sort of mainly selling movie related items came from, because Chris is such a big movie buff and loves to collect items. I realized that when I was trying to buy him gifts, everything was really, really expensive. So we wanted to source items that were of a reasonable price so we could target them at your average Joe who wanted to do the same as us. And that's kind of still the idea of it, isn't it?
Yeah. I still do have a focus on movie stuff. I love finding figures and stuff like that.
See that from behind you.
Yeah.
Some of it I keep. When we're sourcing at Carboots, I'll keep some of it, or I'll sell it, or it's a hobby as well as a business, definitely.
Yeah,
I think that's quite common. I mean, we all have a passion or something that leads us into reselling. Mine was video game collecting, and lots of people have that way in, and it sticks with you. The video game thing, I still love finding video game stuff, the same way as I'm sure if there's a movie related figure somewhere, you will just home in on that.
Yeah, definitely.
And go straight for it.
Yeah, I just want to say, because the chat's moving really, really quickly, if you have any questions for Chris and Annabell, if you put question to precede your question in the capitals, then when we scroll back to have a look, then we can pick them out easily.
Yeah, before we get onto some chat questions, I just want to say, for those people that I say don't follow you, we've put links below to your social media, website, Instagram, YouTube, that sort of stuff. So please go and check that out.
The website, remembered.
Right.
But so where is reselling for you? Are you both part-time resellers? What's the situation?
Yeah, I mean, it started just with me. So I do it part-time. I've got a job for 37.5 hours a week. Annabell's also full-time. So we just do it in our spare time, really. But I am considering dropping a day at work to give a bit more of a slant on the reselling side. It's something that I'm in the process of looking at work at the moment. If anything, maybe not to try and list more, because we have got enough stuff to list. It's more of a case of getting a bit more of a work-life balance, because coming in from working all day and then I spend most of the evening listing and packaging, and then the weekend you're outsourcing, it gets a bit too much sometimes. Yeah,
it's too much sometimes when we're doing it full time. So.
Anyone who's figured out the work-life balance, then give me a call. Because...
I don't know how you have time to have a full-time job, to be honest.
No, exactly.
To be fair, I've only really started helping you out more, haven't I, over the last probably 6 to 8 months, where he's kind of gone, yeah, you need to start helping me. Because I was just there for the fun bits. I just used to get up now and again and go sourcing with you and stuff like that. But the actual listing side and things, I never really did I? Left that to you until obviously he was getting to the stage where it needs 2 of us.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of work, and anyone who's getting into this, it's not said often enough, perhaps, that eBay is a lot of work. Even if you're only, like you guys were saying, doing it part-time, it soon mounts up, and the more listings you get, the more stuff you're sourcing. It's a lot of work to keep up with. So I'm going to scroll back. Did we see any questions
There may have been.
There's one off Flipping Fantastic Finds.
Yeah, that's
As
Kevin.
Chris said, they will sell almost anything. So what doesn't he like selling?
Doesn't it like? I don't really pick up. I know you love doing your computer games, but I feel like I've lost touch with computer games. I don't really know what is worth picking up and what is not. I used to play a lot of games, and I still do play some like PS4 and stuff like that. But I don't really like picking up games unless I can sort of scan it and see a price on it.
In Chris's very distant past, he used to own a game shop.
I did, yeah.
Hey,
Wow. We have a lot in common, Chris.
Yeah. 2 years I ran DVD games and video shop, that kind of thing. It was good. I was only 20 at the time. I did it for 2 years.
Wow,
Awesome.
Fantastic. Was that your own business, or were you running it for someone?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I started my own business, but then sort of Game and Game Station both turned up in town at the same time, and it just killed my business. I couldn't carry on with it.
Yeah, I can imagine. We were fairly lucky when we had ours, in that our direct competition was Blockbusters and Woolworths, and we all know what happened to them. So we were lucky that Game and Game Station were in surrounding towns, but somehow never came to Hitchin. So we eked out a living and then built it up to a point where it was really successful for us after a while. So yeah, oh, that's fascinating. But I'll agree with you with the gaming thing. I am so out of touch. I did have a Switch. I actually got rid of that because I just wasn't using it. So my knowledge kind of really ends at around PS2, Xbox, and then a bit into Xbox 360, PS3, and then it's mainly retro that my knowledge is at. And like you say, unless I can scan something these days and find out instantly what it's worth, so hard to know because prices drop so quick.
Yeah. What else? We don't pick up stuff like Lego. Just
CDs.
CDs don't really do either. Although I know there is money in it. Again, if you can scan it and find the prices, but I don't think we have the time, because you go in a charity shop and there's racks and racks of CDs. I just haven't got the time to go through them all and look for the ones that are worth anything.
Yeah, a lot of, because I pick up CDs still a lot, and people say to me, what should I look for? And it's like, how do you answer that question?
To be honest, I mean, a lot of the CDs you pick up you sell for like $2.99, $3.99. You only really do it if you like it.
Yeah, and then you get the odd rare one that you'll sell for 20 quid.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you make bundles.
We still find it really good fun flicking through stuff and scanning stuff. And
yeah,
we just love media
but
still. Amazon's
still pretty good for rare CDs. Oh, do you guys do Amazon as well? I was going to ask.
Yeah, we've just started doing Amazon. I'm almost at a month, but obviously we can't do media. We can't sell media, can we?
Yeah, so it's gated.
Yeah,
we can't really do DVDs now because that's it's getting tricky.
Can you do CDs on Amazon?
Yes, as long as they're not what they call popular.
Okay.
So I don't know how they. I think it's done on ranking. I really don't know. So a lot of it.
You would think it would be chart as in popular, but it's not really, is it? It's quite random.
It's very random.
Just want to say there's a question there from David Marsden. He says, "Hi, Chris and Annabell. How many items do you have listed at any one time on average, and do you find it hard to stop buying when you know you have a backlog?"
At the moment on eBay we've got about 800 listings. On Amazon I've just sent another shipment up, so we'll have over 100 on Amazon as well. What else?
But yes, he doesn't know when to stop. I keep telling him to have a day off going out and buying stuff and just listing, but he goes okay, and then 5 o'clock the following morning the alarm goes off, he checks the weather and off he toddles to go buy some more.
Sounds very familiar.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, I can't help it. I just love going out buying stuff, and then I just hate listing it.
But I've been saying to him for ages, you need to have a line at least once a week. But, you know, you don't want to burn yourself out.
If I show you this behind the camera, this is all like the last couple of weeks stuff.
Yeah, this isn't even the unlisted that's in our conservatory.
Yeah, wow. This is just a couple of weeks that we haven't got room to put it anywhere.
So we said, right, Saturdays there's nothing really apart from charity shops, and then below me
there's a new one on a Saturday
there's
now.
a new Saturday Carboot. So yeah, that's out the window.
Any other questions?
I'm just looking. What, this one?
No, we just asked. I lined one up.
Oh,
and then
sorry.
You scrolled. Charlotte Thomas says, favourite source for reselling, guys?
Yeah, where do you source them?
All over. We've said this before. We kind of we have all our local areas that we go to, like Chelford.
Whereas in places.
Yeah, Oldham and stuff like that, to the Carboots and the local charity shops. But we tend to do a lot of day trips. We actually pretty much spend all our free time deciding where we're going, depending on what charity shops there are and if there's places we can go visit.
Yeah.
So it has become like part of our life, hasn't it?
But Carboots are the main thing, definitely. I think they're the best source.
Yeah.
Right. Do you have some good ones nearby?
Yeah, we've got like a big rugby club that's great when it's a nice sunny day. There's a couple on fields locally, and when the weather's bad, there's a big indoor one in Manchester that we go to. So we've got loads of options.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you've got to live up to your name, Carboot Chris.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Andy C says, Chris, with your movie stuff, do you go to auctions for stuff, and are they any good for collectors?
I haven't really done auctions yet, although I have been given a couple of tips on good auction places to look at. Last time I went to a car boot, I bought a job lot of hats from somebody, and I was just chatting to him about where he gets his stuff, and he wrote down 2 or 3 auction places. So I'm in the process of looking at them.
Is that technically true?
What?
Because what did you do last night before we went to sleep?
Yeah, but that's the first thing I've ever bought on an auction. No, we've got this wholesale website that I bought a job lot of caps off as well. But that's the first time really I've done that.
I was dozing off and he's going, shall I do it? Shall I buy all the lot? Shall I get it? Shall I get it?
So we're aiming to corner the market on Chupa Chups caps.
Wow.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Reminds me of when we bought all the car parts. That was all done on an auction, and I was sat here for hours working out my max bid and bidding, and I'd be pacing around and coming in and out and asking Andrew's opinion on how much we should go to. And yeah, I do enjoy that. We haven't bought much at auction recently, though, have we?
But then
we really don't need to, and we're going out every week like crazy people filling the car again.
I remember seeing that video, where you bought all that. I would not know where to start with that. Not a chance. I just wouldn't know what to do.
We just made it up as we went along. It's a case of jump in with both feet. We've always kind of done that, really.
Yeah.
I think what we took from that eBay visit, PJ who spoke about his journey. I think that motivated me to buy all those hats last night, because he said try and buy the lot when you see them. Don't leave any lots there. Just buy the whole shaboodle.
You've researched, haven't you? And there doesn't seem to be anybody selling the same hats anywhere.
So I decided just to buy the whole lot, and I bought 8 lots of the same thing, and they haven't got any left now. So.
So you just have to hope there's a demand for them. Otherwise, you're the only one with them, and nobody wants them then.
But like you say, if you don't try it, you don't know, and it's not a massive risk.
There's some guy sat there going, I never thought I'd get rid of them caps after that.
Yeah. Talking of PJ, actually, he's been in touch, and we're hoping that he's going to come on and do one of these chats, and we'll share his story with everyone, which will be amazing.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Great.
He was really inspiring. He gave us a really good
new look
into where we needed to go to grow the business.
Exactly.
I wanted to ask you more about that in a minute, but I just want to quickly answer Joe's question, who's asking about, if we leave the EU, do we think that with GSP sales that they will be down, possibly possible higher prices for posting to continental Europe? We don't know, quite frankly.
Well, chances are the pound will take a nosedive, and we'll get more international sales.
Well, yeah, but it's all up in the air, isn't it? No, but I don't think even the government knows what's happening. Right?
Not a clue, have they?
But and then Vicky, the toy hoarder, says, Chris, do you find the figures and movie memorabilia stuff at Carboots and CS are getting overpriced, and how do you source these items cheaply?
At Carboots, it's not so bad, because people generally don't really seem to know the value.
Yeah.
But in charity shops, we're seeing all the time that they're doing their research, and most charity shops have their own eBay page anyway.
Yeah.
So it goes through that process before it hits a shop front anyway. I work for a charity, so I know exactly what happens at our charity. Carboots mainly, I very rarely pick up decent figures in charity shops because they sell them themselves, you know, in their own way.
The thing you need to look for is the mum who spent a fortune on figures for the kid who has no idea what value is and just wants to get rid of them.
Yeah,
that's the person you need to aim for when you go to a car boot.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I mean, I'm going to quiz you a little bit because I know very little about it, but it is, when you say what a good quality figure, is it the movie, is it the subject matter, or is it the manufacturer? What's the key with it?
It could be any of the combination, but obviously like Necker and McFarlane are the two main ones that, and the age of those as well. If it's like sort of 10 plus years on a Necker or McFarlane, then it's going to be fairly decent.
Mm-hmm.
And the size as well, because you can get the same figure in different sizes. I found a Godzilla the other day. I'm not sure what year it was, but it was one of the original film Godzillas. But when I first looked at it at the car boot, I actually researched it before I bought it. I thought it was only worth about 15 quid. When I got home, I realised I'd actually got the bigger version of it, but it looked exactly the same, but it was a good 4 inches or so bigger, and it was worth about 40-45 quid. So
size really does matter with with toys. Okay.
What you think?
But do you buy loose ones as well, or is it all about the packaging with that?
Oh no, loose is fine. Most of the time you don't get them with the packaging anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of people that buy them are buying them for collectible reasons. They're not really buying them for like the kids and stuff like that, so they're not bothered about the packaging.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, I picked up a few, you know, you take a punt on something for £1 or whatever, a few over the years. I remember in the early days I had a Terminator one that went well, but that's years ago. But it's not something I home in on. Like I'm sure we all have certain things on our mind that we are fixated on at Carboots. And yeah, I'll certainly keep my eyes peeled for it. So McFarlane and Necker are the ones to...
McFarlane and Necker, but a lot of the time, like, it really is bigger is better, because the big 18-inch figures that you see, they can be worth £100 plus.
Mm.
The 18 inches, they're really good.
You can normally tell by the quality of them, because straight away the Necker and McFarlane have a lot of detail on the figures. So when you're just scanning, if you tend to see ones that have quite a lot of detail, just have a look and look at the bottom of them, because you'll find those are the ones that are the better branded ones.
Yeah.
There's copies out there though, you've got to be aware of.
Yeah.
It's
quite
like
a lot of
everything.
copy figures.
Yeah, everything is faked now. It's like it's a minefield, isn't it? And I know I've had a lot of questions on other videos, haven't had a chance to answer, about the board games. We've looked into those board games. I don't know if you saw that, but they're actually genuine. So I'm thrilled to bits that we didn't get caught out with those. We thought we had.
Yeah. No, I was just going to go back to what you were saying about the day that we spent at eBay and how inspiring that was. Do you think that's inspired you to think about maybe expanding the business at some point and going down different avenues?
Yeah, because I think we've got ourselves, the big picture is we want to be able to do it full time. We want to be able to make this our day-to-day living. But I think we got ourselves to a point where we didn't know how to grow it or what was the best way to do it. And I think we're listening to PJ. I think we kind of figured that we couldn't just do it by the individual items that we're buying. I think we kind of decided that we would have to start taking some risks and maybe buying some bulk, multiple items as more of a ticking over selling, but still focusing on our individual items, because that's where our heart is. We love sourcing things. I don't ever want to have to give that up.
Yeah. I think you're right, and we've always done a bit of both, and a lot of the big money we've made over the years has come from bulk buys.
Yeah, definitely.
But you have to have that mental attitude that you're going to invest a lot of money and take a chance, because there's never any guarantees with it. As you know, you just found dabbling with the caps. It's still a gamble, even if it's a small gamble. But the more you do, you'll get more confident with it, to the point where you'll buy out a high-end dealership in a few years. Did you see any more questions, Cammy?
Yeah, there was one from Sue Underhill who said, first time on live, do you start at 99 pence or do you do buy it now?
Good question.
Oh, we do nothing on auction, nothing at all. Everything's buy it now or best offer. We put best offer on everything. We recently changed that. Well, I'll say recently, probably about a year ago. We watched. I mentioned to you that we've been in contact with Jason T. Smith before, you know, in the States, in Vegas, and he gave us a bit of advice, and he said like put buy best offer on everything, and we did it, and overnight, literally, I had offers coming in because you get notified if you're a watcher or whatever, and that listing's changed to best offer, to get a notification. And my sales must have gone up by about 30-40% the minute I did that, and I've left it ever since.
So could you kind of manipulate that and switch best offer on and off?
Possibly, yeah.
You can see how my mind works, but I'm thinking, okay, that
well, I guess it's only the same as when you change the price on something. If you add £1 onto everything, and then everyone will get a notification who's been involved in that item or looked at it, then a couple of weeks later you could take £2 off it and they'll get a notification again, won't they?
Yeah,
that's my understanding of it.
It's worth messing about with that and having to play around, doing a little experiment or something. Okay.
You definitely have more of a steady flow of sales since we did the best offer.
Yeah,
definitely.
Oh, Louise Benfield is in. Louise managed to win the eBay mug and notebook. It's been shipped. Yeah. And who else was it? I wrote
Andy.
It was Andy who won the DAB radio that came from PJ.
Yeah.
So yeah, they should be with you soon, guys. And Louise asks, what do you all use to scan barcodes? Now, this comes up a lot, like you mentioned about scanning media. So I assume you're talking about the eBay app there or the Amazon app or what? Yeah,
we use both of those. Plus, if you just download one of the apps, like, is it Red Laser or something like that? If you download a scanner app, it will give you all the Google results as well.
Oh, okay, didn't know that.
I just use the eBay and Amazon app. Always have done. Yeah, that's interesting.
Have you got an iPhone?
Yeah.
Well, if you got an iPhone, just search for a scanner, but just get a free one. Most of them are paid for now. Just get a free one, and the one I've got, when you've scanned it in, it asks you. It's got a button that says, "Do you want the Google results?" And it will give you everything it finds on Google under that scanned barcode.
Okay.
It's just another check.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, I think we are miles behind. I'm going to scroll through and see if
My fault.
we will miss stuff, so apologies in advance.
It's all right. Chris is blaming me for talking too much.
No, not at all.
That's what you're here for, to talk.
Yeah, that would be hard work if you weren't talking, I'll tell you.
Most people are talking amongst themselves anyway.
Oh, Andy C has got a question. Do you put an extra bit on price to add best offer?
Do you put an extra bit on?
So do you list your item beyond what you think you're likely to get and then have best offer on to accept what you were hoping to get?
When I first added best offer to everything, I upped my price by about 10% on everything. I think you can do a bulk change on your price and put a percentage that you want to change it. So I did that, and then I added best offer. But now I bear in mind it does affect the way I price it, because I know I've got best offer on it. So I do bear that in mind when I price things. So I don't mentally say it's probably worth 10, but I'll list it at 15. I just keep it in my mind that, somebody might make an offer.
You forgot to tell me to do that. I just put whatever price I think it's worth.
Oh, well,
Well, that sounds similar to
That's what I do.
You think
I go for the top end price.
Yeah.
And then I put best offer.
Yeah, pretty similar here as well.
Yeah.
Have you guys been using the sending offers to watchers as well, or offers to buyers, as eBay calls it?
Yeah, I've used it. I had a sale the other day, but I've not had many sales from it, to be honest.
Really? That's interesting. We've had loads. I love that. I'd sit here and send offers all day long if I could.
What kind of discount are you offering people generally when you do it?
depends on the price. You know, if it's a high priced item, I might knock 5 or a tenner off it. If it's a low priced item, it might be 50p or a pound. Just
yeah, I've not had a lot of luck with that, I don't think. When it first came out, I bulk did it. I just went through everything and I was sending everyone offers. I didn't get a lot of biters.
I do it every day and I get a few. I got one straight away yesterday, so that was quite good.
Yeah, it's slowed down a lot. I think personally that people are getting fed up with receiving the offers, because when it first came, or when it was first available to us, we sent out loads and we were caning it. We were like, yes, look at all these sales we're getting.
Fantastic.
And now we're lucky if we send 50 offers, we might get 2 buyers.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, because it's in the thousands of people that follow our store because they watch us on YouTube. So a lot of them watch our items that we've talked about in shows. So I know we're sending subscribers offers on a daily basis.
Yeah, they probably get really fed up.
So sorry about that, guys.
Do you think it maybe feels a little bit like when, you know, you've got the salesperson on the street when you're on holiday and they're like, buy this, buy this, buy this? Do you kind of think people are getting that impression from it now, where it's like you want to just sit and watch something until you decide you want it, rather than have people
Maybe.
sending you
You can only
offers?
send one person one offer, can't you? You can't send them another offer once you send them.
True, but if they're watching lots of items from different sellers and they're all bombarding them, I think I'd get cheesed off with it after a while. But I think it's a good thing they've implemented.
That question there.
What, this one?
Yeah.
Neutral observer. What do you think about the UK government freezing the VAT threshold at 85k for several years, where they used to raise it every year? Also, what do you think about the EU intentions to lower it? Wow, questions about VAT.
I was going to say, this is getting intense now.
Yeah, it's holding it at 85 for a
to
long
be
time
honest,
would be a
I think-
pain, because
Do you think?
yeah, because that 85, if you're doing eBay seriously, staying under 85 is not easy.
No, but if they were talking about lowering it a while
Yeah,
back.
if they don't lower it though, that's
I know,
fantastic.
exactly. So if they hold it there and don't lower it, then that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, Andrew's got a question.
Because resellers, the VAT threshold, is that based on income or profit?
Turnover.
Turnover. So, right. Okay. You soon get to that, really, wouldn't you, if you're doing
Oh,
it?
totally.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Nowhere near it, but yeah.
Yeah.
What did Andrew ask?
He wanted to know who are your favourite YouTubers to watch?
That
Well, can we mention we weren't in his top 5, let alone top 10? If it's money mental.
Oh yeah.
oh yes, it is that,
Yeah, it
Andrew,
is.
with the awkward questions.
But I don't even think we was in his top 10.
Yeah.
Don't be looking for a shout out.
Forget about Andrew.
That's backfired on you, Andrew.
Well, Nick and Andrea, of course.
Yeah.
You don't have to say that just because
No,
we're
you
sitting
really
here listening.
No. You saw what we were like. We were like starstruck when we saw you at eBay. We really were.
Who else? Well, I do watch Jason T. Smith and his Thrifty Business shows, because we've met him in Vegas as well. So we've kind of got a contact there. He's a good guy. He's a nice guy.
Yeah,
well, he's given us a lot of advice.
We're going to get another invite over to Vegas, but it's not happened yet.
No.
Are there many of the American YouTubers then? Do you find that you can relate what you do here to the Americans?
Yeah. I've found there's quite a few that are really good. And they have the similar issues as us. They have similar problems with eBay, similar problems with Amazon, the same kind of thoughts about reselling. Yeah, I found it really useful. I'm part of one of the Facebook pages called the Thrifting Board that Jason runs, and that's helped me no end with the American items that I find. So if
because we do a lot of Disney
stuff as well.
There's a lot of questions of when we're not sure if things are genuine or what they're from and stuff, and they reply really quickly.
They're so fast. It's a bit like the Tat Chat, very similar. You know, post an item, any idea what this is, and they're so good at replying, especially if it's something to do with American stuff. But
yeah, I found that with the community. I mean, if I share something in a video that we've got, questions about, and there's always somebody out there who knows stuff. Like Dave Rowland's been really helpful recently with the BBC microcomputer that I managed to blow up. And yeah, it's wonderful that the community's really given back in that sense to us with information and help with stuff, which is great.
We pretty much subscribe to, I think we subscribe to almost every reseller out there, and we just pick up our feed on our YouTube and we'll watch the odd videos from different people. We like to spread it about a bit, really, don't we?
Sounds good.
Easy now.
I just like watching. I like watching different videos because.
Who's the guy that
people
you've
have different
recently
stuff.
started watching where we
Oh,
can't
yeah.
decide if we like him or not?
Oh no, he might be in there.
Well, no, it's only because we're not quite sure if he's like supposed to be funny or if he's.
Is it? Have you watched Yorkshire Lad? Is it Yorkshire Lad?
I don't know.
No.
Oh, he's got a very unique style. If you're in there, and it's not a criticism. It's just very, very unique.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the name of the channel?
I think so. Yorkshire Lad.
Yeah, it's just very, very different from any of the other resellers that we watch. But yeah, we're kind of,
That appeals to me
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you know, we've all watched so many YouTube videos about reselling, and you know, there's only so much you can do with it. So somebody who's found a fresh take, I'll definitely check that out.
I think just having the Yorkshire accent does it. It's just
Yeah.
yeah.
You probably won't be able to tell what he's saying. I have trouble, and he only lives an hour away.
Adrian has got a question about post offices and what do you think about the state of how the post office is, and how do you feel about these street parcel drop-off points that they've announced?
I didn't know the post office was in a state. I
didn't know they're in a state, but I've seen those post office drop-off points.
Yeah, I've seen a picture of them.
No. This is
Yeah.
news to me, Adrian.
It's like a parcel drop-off point, so it's a bit like those post boxes where you pull it down and you put something in.
For
and-
prepaid post.
yeah.
Oh. Sounds all right.
I
I mean,
don't know,
that's handy.
it could be a time saver.
Yeah.
You obviously
I don't
post.
really use the post office much unless somebody wants something tomorrow or the next day. I don't really use them.
So you use courier then?
Yeah, I just use my Hermes. I know a lot of people don't like them, but it's convenient for us.
Yeah, I use those for heavier or bulky stuff, but yeah, Royal Mail pretty much for 90% of what we do.
Yeah. And in the same line of posting questions, Ryan C says, I currently run a very small collectible eBay resale store and keep going to the post office, and it's getting very time consuming. How do I do the postage online so I can just drop off at the post office?
Look into getting a click and drop account. Yeah, give post office a call and they'll talk you through what works for you and your situation. I couldn't tell you the limits of how much you need to turn over or sell. It's been years, and loads of people ask me about our account. We set it up so long ago, it's irrelevant now, and I don't know what the category, you know, what you need to be turning over to get certain accounts and stuff. But I'd give them a call and ask them direct, and they'll point you in the right direction. Right, I dread to think how far behind we are. Do you think we're?
I don't think we're that far behind, to be honest.
Did it just jumped a mile then, didn't it?
No, I don't know.
I have no idea what now. I don't know.
And Andrew's dying for attention.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a bit needy.
Oh, he
today,
said,
isn't
hang
he?
on, question for Nick. Who are your favourite YouTubers to watch? May as well see if Plan B works. I'll tell you who I watch the most. I'll be totally honest. I watch scrap channels, scrappers, like people who go street scrapping and stuff. I find it just addictive as hell. But reseller wise, mainly I watch Lonnie. I think Lonnie is a fantastic YouTuber. He's so watchable. He's so likable. He's a good friend of ours anyway. So yeah, there you go.
Was that the answer he was looking for?
Probably not, was it?
No, he was wanting you to say him. Yeah.
But I do enjoy Andrew's quizzes, despite him being Quiz Hitler.
I've seen
So
it.
the Tat Doctor, who is Ian? Is that
Ian,
right?
yes, Ian. Thanks for the phone call earlier. Yes.
Says, question, has Chris listed and sold many exotic outfits yet?
Now, I
Yes, I
saw
saw you.
I
have
saw
picked up
a
few of those.
notification about a video that I haven't watched before
Oh, I
yet.
watched it earlier.
Do you want to? Oh, you've seen it. What's going on there, Chris?
We have knickers everywhere.
Hold on a minute.
the hold up.
Ice cream.
I bought a job lot. I was great.
Sorry, the ice cream van's pulled up outside our house.
Clearly, I wasn't with him when he bought all that.
Go away, ice cream van.
Yeah, I was at a car boot, and there was a lady there who used to have a shop. She just split up with her partner, and she was closing down. And it was all this what is it, Dream Girl lingerie or something. So I just had a chat with her about what it was worth and how much she wanted for it. And in the end, I
Not
bought.
creepy at all.
No, not at all. I bought.
To a random stranger about her knickers, were you?
I bought about 46 boxes of stuff, and it cost me 165 quid. So it's about £3 an item, something like that.
So did you get a chance to look into what you're likely to get back on them then?
I've listed about half of it on eBay, and I sent a couple of bits to Amazon yesterday. So it ranges from 15 to about 35 quid an item if it sells.
Wow.
If I have to reduce it a bit, then I'm still making money on it.
You did have some person randomly contact you through Instagram, didn't you, asking you about them?
Yeah. Somebody on Instagram said, he was asking me if I would sell some of it to her, and she was looking at like, oh, have you still got the red one and all this? I was sending her pictures of these things, and no, it didn't happen in the end.
Yeah, but it's little deals like that I love, though. You know, a chance meeting at a boot sale. You know, the fact that it's women's lingerie is irrelevant. The fact that it's new stock is great.
Did the woman wonder why you were buying them?
I know. I was honest and upfront with her, because obviously I didn't want her thinking I was a weirdo. Yeah, I just said, look, I'm considering making you an offer. You know, I'm just going to resell them. What are they worth? And she said, well, they're worth between 10 and 30 quid, and that's what they actually are worth. Yeah. So yeah, from there.
Every time I find him now, he's now over taking pictures of
naked women.
Oh, sometimes the job's hard, isn't it?
Could be worse things to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think in a situation like that, if you make the person realize that you're a business person and you have money to spend, you know, their eyes light up sometimes, because she was clearly there to sell it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, there was only 5 stalls there, so she was going to be lucky to make any money at all on the day. So the fact that I bought 3 Build-A-Bears off her as well, so that was 170 quid.
Exactly. Yeah, not many people go to the boot sale to buy a new pair of, you know, knickers or lingerie, do they? It's not really, not the target market.
No,
believe me, these can't even be classed as underwear because there's not much.
There's not much to it.
There's not.
Oh.
No,
Did you see a question?
I line it up and then you scroll. And so
sorry.
Questions.
Sorry, don't let me touch the mouse.
Now I've lost it.
You're going to be in so much trouble in a minute.
I know it's really difficult without interrupting to say to you, don't move the mouse. No, I've lost my question. I can't remember who asked it, but basically, here it is. Damien asked, what was your best pickup? What's been your best find?
Yeah.
We did make a video on it, so if anyone wants to go and have a look at it, but it was a USA podium Olympic jacket. I don't think it was podium worn, but there was a very, very limited number of these jackets made for the Olympic team, and it cost us about £4, and I think we sold it for about 240 or 250 or something.
Oh wow! So a jacket that they wore at the awards ceremony at the Olympics.
Yeah, that's the way I see it.
They wear it to go and get the medals.
Yeah.
Medals. So it was like a silver fluorescency type.
Yeah, it was like a shiny silver jacket.
Yeah, it was really, really neat. Really neat.
Which Olympics was that from? Did you know?
I did know, but can you remember? It was. I don't know.
Atlanta, I was trying to think of American Olympics. Oh no, it could have been anywhere. I guess I'm thinking of in America, but
I don't necessarily think it was the American one.
It was worn by the American team when they were collecting their
Yeah.
It was around 2000,
Yeah.
something
But,
like that.
I mean, we could have made a lot more from that, but ours had some very small black marks on the front of it, which we think reduced the price, because there had been some that had sold for just under 500 quid, hadn't they?
Yeah.
Wow. Was that a car boot sale?
Yeah. And we weren't even early. We were really late. This is about 11 o'clock at a car boot sale, 11 in the morning. It was just hung on the back of someone's car. You spotted it, didn't you?
Yeah.
And we just, £4. It was Nike, so it's probably going to be worth more anyway. And yeah, it just was really.
It's amazing for two reasons. One, that the owner was selling it and selling it that cheap, and then two, that it was still there at nearly lunchtime. That's mad.
Yeah.
Well, we were just confused as to how it had ended up in the UK anyway.
I know, it was very, very unusual.
Because they weren't sold over here, were they? They were only sold.
And we sold it back, and it went back to America,
so
someone bought it in the States.
Fantastic. Excellent. Great question, whoever asked that. Right. Did you have that lined up before I touched on it?
No, I haven't now. Dean Binks wants to know, what's your best ever video game pickup?
Is that to you? Because we don't really pick them up.
No.
I don't know. It's just a random.
Well, if it's to us, it's the one that I've banged on about until I'm blue in the face. We sold an Atari cart that cost us £1 for 5,200. It was our best sale ever.
Oh, I remember I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, craziness. Right, we're at the bottom of the chat. There you go.
5,000.
Yeah. So what questions have you got left?
I don't know. I'm going to have a look.
Yeah.
Usually we have a load of questions and then we just cover them by chatting anyway. So you kind of asked this, actually. I mean, we're interested because obviously we're a couple, we work together, and you guys are kind of doing this together now. So do you sort of answered it, but do you have specific roles within what you do?
Yeah, Chris does everything and I just do the bits he tells me.
Fair enough.
The opposite to you two.
Has it caused any friction?
No.
Okay, give it time. And working from home, do you have any storage? I mean, you showed earlier that the bags of stuff there. Is that becoming an issue?
Yeah, it's a big issue, and we did tidy it up recently. I've put more stuff in the loft now, but it is going to get to the point where we're going to have to look at storage solutions, whether it be a unit or a family member's spare bedroom that we'll rent off them or something like that.
We've even considered buying a bigger house. That's how desperate it's getting.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
But no, at the moment we have no conservatory. That's our store cupboard.
Right.
Yeah. Our sunroom, that's not a conservatory really, is my office, so we don't have one either.
No, and a loft is a godsend, but I tend to find stuff goes up there and then you forget it
Never comes out.
and you have to force yourself to bring it down. I mean, half of the car parts hall is still up there. We've never looked at it. It's insanity, absolute insanity. And I set myself a task about 2 months ago to clear the backlog by the end of this year, and we've bought about 5 carloads full since then. It's a sickness.
I think the starting the Amazon thing is out with our backlog, because Chris is just going through all the old stock that's been in there forever and scanning anything that has got any value in it, and then it's being sent up to Amazon. So at least it's being sat somewhere waiting to be sold rather than sat in our storeroom doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I've just sent a big 15-kilo box and I'm working on another one. It's great because it just gets it out of the house, and like I say, it's sat on someone else's shelf. Obviously they're charging you for the privilege of it sat there, but
but it's amazing how much profit there is in some of the stuff that you've had sat in there.
More than eBay, some of it.
Mm-hmm.
I sold a Disney plush that was brand new and tagged. It was the octopus out of
Nemo.
Out of Finding Nemo, the octopus.
Finding Dory,
yeah. And it went for about 45 quid.
Wow.
And one of the you can do the European sales as well on Amazon. Yeah. Was sold to Europe for that kind of money, and it's just I would never have got that on eBay.
You picked 2 up from the same car boot on the same day, hadn't you? So we got another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is surprising what you can achieve with Amazon. But yeah, again, I mean, I'm sure you're aware of this. You need to be very focused on the fees, and if you do with the Europe-wide ones, the fees can be eye-watering on that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I do have kind of a little rule in my head that I don't really send anything up there that's worth less than a tenner, because they take £5 off you.
Yeah.
Particularly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not really worth it. So I try not to send anything less than £10.
Yeah, I think that's why.
It's more about getting rid of the backlog of stock, isn't it? You know, and just trying to get rid of some of that's been in there since we started. We, you know, the stuff that's been in there for the last 2 years that we've just not got a chance to get to.
Yeah.
Going back to what you were saying, Nick, about putting stuff in the loft and then forgetting about it. I read something somewhere, someone said on either Instagram or YouTube, I can't remember where it was now, but they said that obviously we all say the best thing to do is to list things immediately as soon as you buy them, the next day or whatever, or the same week. But they said that if you don't do that, you tend to fall out of love with the item, and then you kind of it gets left behind, and then you go on to your next item. And I really think that is true, because when you're there in the moment buying that item and negotiating, and you come home with, oh yeah, I've got all this great stuff, if you don't list it really soon, you lose that enthusiasm for it. That's what I find anyway. And I've thought that really rung true. I can't remember who said it.
It's true, but I think some of my stuff I've left for that long, I get excited because I rediscover it. Seriously, I mean, I delve in boxes and go, ooh, it's like Christmas every day.
Yeah.
But it's not ideal.
You said when you was doing your FBA stuff, you found a box of something you forgot you'd even bought.
Oh, a box of figures.
It was a whole box of figures.
You know, like daubs and pop figures and stuff.
Yeah.
I found a whole box of
like
those
new ones that you'd ordered from somewhere.
It's madness, isn't it? Madness, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like I told you about that bag of stuff that was under there that I discovered, and
with a GameCube in it.
RJ asks, where are you guys from?
Manchester. Stockport, to be precise, but yeah, Manchester.
And are you both local to that area all your lives, or have you moved there?
Yeah, I've always lived in Stockport, but you're kind of a bit.
I'm an invader. I'm from Stalybridge, so just slightly over the border.
Have you heard of Stalybridge before?
I've heard of it. I couldn't tell you where it was, but I've heard that name. Yeah.
Tameside.
Okay.
Kind of on the border with like Derbyshire sort of area.
I'm from the nicer area.
Yeah, lovely up there.
Peter Ray wants to know what kind of music that you like to listen to.
The Cortinas is my favourite band.
Nice.
I've seen them with my mate, probably about 15 gigs, almost one a year. That's my favourite band, but I like anything really.
The Cortinas was our first dance at our wedding last year.
Oh.
We also did walk down the aisle to Blue Moon. So
fantastic. I wanted to ask as well, do you guys have kids?
No. Well, Cookie.
Well, you do.
Oh yeah, I have. No, I have kids. Oh, sorry,
forgot.
I have kids.
Oh, okay. Fantastic.
I saying, do we have kids?
Oh,
we don't have
together.
kids.
No.
We have Cookie, but no, I have two teenage. Are they still classed as teenagers?
One is.
I've a 21-year-old and an 18-year-old, two boys.
Oh wow. What are their views? I always ask this question of YouTubers. What are their thoughts on you guys being on YouTube?
My eldest one thinks it's great because he just loves YouTube and thinks everybody who's on YouTube is famous, whether they are or not. So he thinks it's quite good, but the youngest one's just completely embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
He's upstairs at the moment. We shifted him from the back garden because I could hear him speaking on the loudspeaker to his mates. I'm like, you're going to have to go upstairs, mate. I don't really want to have to tell you in front of hundreds of people to shut up.
Excellent. Right, did you have another?
There's a question from Julie there. A question for Chris. I'm up north for a while. Which is the best car boot in the northwest area?
Wow, big question.
Ooh.
Well, it depends on the weather. So probably Burnage Rugby Club on a good day, or Adams Chelford. There was about 250 stalls there a couple of weeks ago at Adams Chelford. That's good. If it's raining, then just go to Bowlers in Manchester.
Yeah,
cool. And So Tat Doctor says, Chris, have you bought much related to our favourite football team?
You don't tend to buy stuff, do you?
No.
To be fair, there's not much reselling price in it.
No. No, you don't really see much, to be honest. I have bought a few retro like training tops that I've seen from the 90s, and I've sold those all right, but not a lot really.
What football team we're talking about?
The champions.
Oh, Man City.
That's it. Yeah,
they're the ones.
That's the limit of my football knowledge. Luckily I knew that, to be fair.
I had no clue.
You would know.
No.
Yeah, they just won the champions.
And then Stephen Bennett says, what's your favourite movie and collectible?
Oh, good question. So, movie buffs, what's your favourite movie?
Harry Potter. I'm sorry, I'm a Potter freak. I love Harry Potter.
That's fine, so are we.
Yeah.
Oh God, I love so many films. I love Back to the Future just because it's so 80s, but that's such an obvious choice. Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. I love that.
Yeah.
I watched that the other day, and
Train Spotting, those kind of independent kind of films.
Jaws.
Yeah, I love that. No, I don't know about Jaws. It's all right.
He's a big fan of the Muppets. He loves the Muppets.
Oh.
Thanks for that.
I'm noticing Kermit the Frog there.
I'm not.
Oh, Gonzo's my favourite Muppet.
Oh.
I had a Gonzo mug from the 70s that I managed to keep until I was about 20, and then managed to smash it into a million bits. So annoying.
Yeah, they're like,
Not if it's in a million
it
bits.
doesn't matter. You just try and stick it back together and keep it as a momentum.
Right. Did we miss any questions? How are we doing for time? Oh, blimey.
I know.
We've
better get
nearly
on with
been
your
talking for an
questions,
hour.
I think.
We've kind of covered it. I was going to just say, when you go out sourcing, are you both looking for different sorts of items, or are you focusing on the same niches?
Well, I have had this conversation with you the other day, didn't I? Because I said, because we want to look at more stuff, I said to Annabelle, why don't you start looking at the ladies' clothing a bit more? Because I ain't got a clue about that.
Never have I.
But there's so much of it.
I
I
think
don't know.
ladies' clothing is so much more difficult to source than men's are, because men's tend to be a named product. Whereas women's clothing, I have no idea what is. Obviously, I've got an idea on what good brands are, but not what good brands that are good at reselling as well. So women's clothing is just way off.
We generally are tuned into the same kind of stuff because we see what sells, and yeah, you quite often pick up stuff before I see it, and yeah, you've got quite.
The difference is, Chris's idea of sourcing is get round as quick as possible to pick out whatever you can see on the top, and then goes round again and starts digging, whereas I just slowly wander around and rummage through.
You do exactly the same. Exactly the same.
Yeah, I'm on a mission when I'm there.
Oh yeah,
because I know there's probably some of the ones I go to, there'll be 50 or 100 resellers queuing up to get in.
Yeah.
And I have to go around quick to get the kind of low-hanging fruit stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'll go around and do the fine-tooth comb stuff.
Yeah.
But often we'll find our best items on that second lap.
Yeah.
We both go off in different directions, don't we? And I look at all the clothes, and then you do your whiz round, and then we meet after we trip to the car, and then we go round again. Because
also we would wind each other up if we were going together.
Oh no, you wouldn't wait for me.
I wouldn't wait for her. She'd be like, it doesn't work.
I spend more time standing there looking like an idiot because I'm looking around the room trying to figure out where he's gone. Normally I have to remember what he's wearing so I can try and spot him. Because I found an item that I'm like, what do you think about this? But whereas now I have started just
have to buy it.
I've started going off my own instinct and going, actually, I'm going to buy it. And if it's no good, tough, you walked off and left me.
Yeah.
So this is what I've got.
Yeah, and the moment you actually start buying, you only make that mistake once. And if the moment you have to, if I have to ask Andrea's advice or whatever, I won't actually remember it. So if I buy it and make the mistake, I'll never do that again. So I think it's good. What we tend to do is just phone each other up and say, I'm on aisle 2 near the big tree.
Oh, yeah.
I've found a load of dresses. Get yourself here. Yeah.
Have you got a trolley like Andrew has?
You got one of the granny trolleys.
We used to use a granny trolley. We've upgraded to a little like
cart, a pull-along cart,
festival cart trolley thing.
Now, I've seen them, but I'd be worried that someone's going to nick something off the back of it when I'm busy
Yeah.
looking.
People
I
dig
know.
around in it. Park it next to a stall, next to you on a stall, and they assume for some unknown reason it's part of the stall.
Yeah, you were worrying the other day because you had loads of like sort of high-end items in and expensive stuff.
Yeah, I put my coat over the top of it now.
Yeah.
Mm.
To be fair, I have dug around in other people's bags before now, thinking they were part of stalls.
Yeah.
Well, that I can understand. When we have IKEA
Yeah, I
bags,
was
it
going to
looks
say
like
the IKEA bags are the worst. If
Yeah.
you go to a stall and I'm with you and you put your IKEA bags down, the amount of people I have to say to them, that's our bags, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Because you don't notice, they're just there rummaging through, you know, how much?
yeah, crazy.
You're reselling as you're buying. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, except they're not giving us the money, they're giving the stall holder the money.
Oh, hi, Chris. Chris Beeson, good to see you. Your Furby, Chris. This is a new office mascot that Chris kindly gave us when we were down in Bristol.
Oh,
We need to name this Furby. Should we do it now? Chat, give us a few suggestions and we'll pick one. New office mascot.
See,
Not
that's
gonna go.
Chris.
Oh no,
He sells so many Furbies.
I love them.
So yeah, this one was kindly gifted to us. So Sledgehammer's not going near him and he's not being resold. So before we end, give us a name. We'll pick one that comes up in the chat.
Demon Killer says Bob.
Bob. Bob's quite good for a Furby, actually. I quite like that.
That used to be my nickname in school, Bob. I reckon you should call it Bob.
Call him Blue
Or Tatty.
because he's red. Tatty, that's...
He's good.
Yeah, Tatty's good.
Should we go with Tatty?
Lauren says Clementine. I quite like that because it's kind of orange.
That's a bit girly.
Summer, Dave,
Carrot,
Gizmo, Nick Jr.
Tango.
I think we'll stick with Tatty. There you go. We've
Tatty.
christened him. Who said Tatty? Let me scroll back. Matthew, there you go.
Tatty.
Christen the new office mascot, Tatty the Furby.
Mhm.
Okay, well, we're pretty much out of questions.
Yeah.
And we're on.
You've gone.
Oh, we've lost sound.
We've lost you.
Hold on.
There you're
we
back.
go.
There we go. I don't know what happened there.
I
Sorry.
think you pressed mute accidentally. Yeah.
Okay. So should we wrap this one up?
Yeah.
Well, thank you
That went
so
really
much,
quickly.
guys. Yeah, that was super fast. It's mad.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Thanks very much for having us.
Yeah, no, it's been great.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you, everyone who watched us live. Thanks for your questions. I know we struggle to read out all of the comments. It's almost an impossibility these days. But we love reading out your stuff. So thank you for commenting and any questions that we got to. Thanks for christening our Furby. And yeah, thank you so much to Chris and Annabell for joining us. Remember to check out the links below to YouTube and all that good stuff that we've dropped below.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys. We're away at the weekend, so the Sunday show will be on Monday.
Yeah. Monday evening.
That is the plan.
Same time.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. So thanks for joining us. And yeah, we'll catch up soon.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.